In this video, I'm going to show you how to create this scene in 3ds Max. Okay, 3ds Max and Corona Renderer. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to File and import the file. Okay, so I'm just going to come here, go to Open, because what I want to import is a 3ds Max file. All right, so I'm just going to come here. That's the file. I'm going to say, okay, open. It's going to open. I'm going to clean corruption, say close. All right, so it already came with a camera, but I'm going to delete this camera so we can start from the scratch. Okay, so to create a camera, you come over here, click on this camera icon over here. You see Corona camera. I'm going to be using Corona, so we're going to be using Corona camera for this. I'm going to come over here and then draw it like so. Okay, just draw it diagonally across the room like so. Okay, then if you are just opening your 3ds Max, you might have something like this. Come over to this place. Okay, if you don't have this, let's say you don't have this. Let me just bring it out. If you don't have this, you can come over here and add it. It is Viewport layer tabs. When you click it, it says it's over here. Then you can dock it over here. Then you can click this arrow to select double layout like I did. So when you create your camera, okay, create your camera, make sure you select it like so. Just select the camera and then come over here. Okay, with your middle mouse button, click there so that you make sure that your camera is still selected, and then hit C. That will put you in that camera view. So holding my middle mouse button, I can pan, so I will pan up a little bit. But for the purpose of what we are doing, each time I'm doing an interior render this, I like to put the height of the camera. That's the Z. You can see this thing now over here. If I'm increasing it, you can see it is increasing from here. Okay, so the Z, I'm going to make it 900. I will select these targets also. The target of the camera, I'll select it also and make it 900. How we can avoid doing this camera and target stuff is, let me just put it at the normal stuff where it was before. Okay, okay, so I will select this camera now before I increase the height of this camera. So both the camera and the target is on the same level. So I will just come over here. Okay, make sure I'm selecting the camera, mind you. Select the camera. You can see it's at 663, whatever. I select this one. You can also see it's at 663. So they are on the same height. So I'll just select this and I'll make sure you're selecting the camera. Okay, let's go over here, select the camera. Okay, now I'm selecting the camera. What I want us to do is turn off this target for a while. Now, when we are raising anything, both the camera, in fact, everything will be raised with the target because there's no target now, so just the camera. So if I raise this thing to 900 now, it will go up without distorting the camera view. We're going to go ahead and do the camera setup. So I'm going to change this in from field of view to focal length, and I'll change this to 40. Okay, because I want this to be a vertical scene. So I'm going to leave this. You can see the custom. I already set it before. When you get this file, you're going to see it's 4:5. All right. So I'm just going to come over here and hit Shift F on the keyboard to have it. Then F3 toggles you between wireframe mode and default shading. Okay. When you drop this thing down, you're going to see some lines. Okay, these two here are in the same category, these two here. So if I'm in clay mode and I hit F3, it's going to toggle me between clay mode and this view here, this view style here, which is the wireframe mode. So I'm going to put it in default shading. Okay. Okay, so I want us to have more view into this scene. Okay, so how do I do that? I'm going to go down here to environment clipping. Okay, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to enable it, and I'm going to, let's say I'll add like 950 in here. Okay, it is going to cut into the room like so. So now I can move my camera back a little bit, as you can see. And when I do that, in fact, let me go ahead and create my default material for this space. Because that's what I like to do. It's like a material override, but I just select everything and add the same material to it. Okay, and the reason for doing that is it gives me a plane level, okay, to work with. Though that's one of the the reason why we do clear render or material override. Okay, it gives you an ability to set up your light without having all the interference of materials and textures and all that. So I'm going to open my material editor, bring it to this screen. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a Corona Legacy material out here. Okay, you can do this with the Corona physical material. It doesn't really matter. So what we are going to do is I want to reduce this a little bit. Okay, just a little bit. And then for the reflection, I'm going to make it 1. For the glossiness, I'm going to make it 0.6. Okay, when I open this and zoom in, you can find out that what we're having now is something that we can work with. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to add it. Like when I click here, it is going to apply it to the scene. Now I want to create, let me just make this thing smaller. Like so. So I want to make these places here glass. So I'm going to create a glass material. So I'm going to bring out another Corona Legacy material. And to create glass, just come to the reflection, increase it to 1. Come over to the refraction, you increase it to 1. As you can see, we have our glass. So I'm going to just apply this to this. For the mullions, okay, as you can see, we have mullions over here. I'm going to use the material library, Corona material library for that. So I'm just going to open it. Then I'm going to drag this and drop it here. Okay, I'm going to close it now. So as you can see, this material came with all these other, I don't need those things. I don't need all these maps. So I'm going to delete them. I just need the metal. Then I'm going to reduce the glossiness to 0.6. Okay, that's how I want it. All right, so I'm just going to apply to the mullion. I'll select one of the mullions and I'll right click and say select similar, and then I will apply it to them. Now I'll say let's start doing interactive render, but when we do that, we're not going to see anything because I've not added any light to this scene. So we're going to add light. Don't worry about the camera. We're going to get back to the camera later. So to add light to this scene, I'm going to hit 8 on my keyboard, or I can go into the render settings and I'm going to the scene. You can see single map, which is what we're going to be using. So we're going to be using single map, and I'm going to click on none, drop this general, collapse it back. Then I'm going to go over to the Corona bitmap. I want us to import an HDRI that I've already downloaded. Okay, for you to get your own, this is the HDRI we're going to be using. Let me get over here. Okay, so you come over here, you set it to 8K because 8K is what I'm going to be using because I want us to have this view to the outside. And then you click download. I've already downloaded it before, so I'm not going to download it again. So I'm going to minimize this now, and then I'm going to go find it. So I think this is not it. This is not it. That's 2K. I use 2K when I don't have views to the outside, but today we're going to be having views to the outside, so I'm going to use the 8K. So that's going to be crisp and sharp. So I'm going to hit open and I say okay. All right, now so we can go ahead and then do this. So I'm going to turn this off. I don't like that. And then I'm going to start my interactive render. Let me bring my frame buffer, virtual frame buffer over here, and then start AR. Now there are some things I need to do. I need to select this place. As you can see, it is showing up here. In here, you can see the outside showing. Okay, I need to move it down a little bit. I don't need all this part that is showing like this. So I'm going to show you how to be doing that. But first of all, let's lock this view so it doesn't change. You know, when I click here now, it's going to be showing us the top view. I don't want that. So like this now, I can just come over here and click this lock button here. It is going to lock it. So if I click here, it's not going to show us the upper this thing again. So I want to quickly do some settings to this thing. So I'm going to stop this for a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the tone, like I'll do tone mapping for this scene. So I'm going to come over to the simple exposure and I'm going to increase it a little bit, you know, a whole lot. Just like that. And I'm going to leave the white balance the way it is. I'm going to add contrast. I'm going to make it 2 or thereabout. If we need to increase it later, we're going to do that. But for now, I'm going to leave it like that. For this, I'm going to reduce this actually. I'm going to make it like 0.2 and I'm going to add highlight compression. I don't need it now, but I will need it. So I'm just going to add it and leave it for now. When I need it, then I will do. So let's go ahead and finish the work we were doing on the camera. So I'm going to just keep this by the side like so. Okay. Or by this side. I'll keep it here. Remove this for one. So we can just walk. So I will start interactive rendering. So I'll select the camera, move it a little bit. Oh, see, I will just turn on, I will just Alt W to make one of the viewports occupy the entire drawing area. So I'm going to select this now, put it in move, and then I'll turn on the target and I'll move it a little bit. Okay. And then move it back some more. All right, something like this, something like that. Yeah. So I'm going to turn off this target again, and I want to balance this camera shot because let me just show you something. If I turn on my image comp helper for this particular scene, you find out that we need to raise the camera up a little bit. I'm going to select this camera, turn off this golden spiral. Okay, we're going to raise it up a little bit. And to do that, I can use the camera tilt and shift to do just that. So I'm just going to come over here and raise it just like that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. For now, let's just leave it like this. Okay, so I'll just keep working on the camera. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like this for now. If we need to change it, in future, we're going to do that. But there's one more thing I need to do. I need to come over here and add a light, an ambient light for this scene, and other lights that are required. So I will add a light in front of here and then another light towards the back side. So let me just go ahead and do it. Let me add a portal light. Just come over here, select Corona, and then set it to rectangle. Don't worry about that for now. So I'm going to reduce this light to 0.5. Okay. 0.5. And I'm going to come down here and turn off every single thing. Okay. Just added a little bit of very nice lighting into the scene. I'm going to bring it a little bit forward. Yeah. So let me go ahead and add the other light that I need. Okay, I'm just going to stop this for now. Okay, I'm going to leave it, keep it this way this time around. And then I'm going to draw another light. Like so. Going to keep this light over here. Then tilt it a little bit downwards. Come over here. Change the light color to 36. Okay. Yeah. And then increase this one to 25 or thereabout. We're going to reduce it if we need to. Let me start interactive render again and see. Oh, we got, you can see the light shining over there. Okay. You can see the light shining over there. Now it's time for us to apply materials to this scene. And I'm going to do that using the material library that came with Corona. I'm going to select this and I'm going to select the ceiling. I'm going to use the same color for it, the same materials for it rather. So I'm just going to apply this to it. Okay, as you can see, just colored it. Then for the floor, I'm going to use the flooring material, which is this. And I'm going to use this one. Okay, and I'm going to use UVW map to map it. Okay, put it in box. Let me see what it looks like when I put it in real world side. So I'm going to reduce this thing to say 0.5. That would do 0.5. I'm seeing it down here. I don't know if you can see it. 0.5. 0.5. Okay, so I'm going to just select this and delete it. Just, let's have a better view here. Now, remember when I told you that I'm going to need this, you can see we're having a burnout here. This highlight compressed, but not yet. So I'm going to make this 0.2. When I do that, you see the difference that made. Okay, when it was at 1, you can see when I made it 2, you see the difference. It made the scene more, comely. For some reason, I'm going to leave this thing like this. This is the vent, okay? But the way it is a little bit, darker shader, I think I like it, so I'm going to leave it like that. I don't like the direction of this floor finishes, so I'm going to use the UVW to, change the direction. So I'm just going to stop this and minimize it for now. Select the floor. Click here to isolate the selection. Okay, now I'm going to go to the top view. F3 to put it in shade. I want this pointing to be pointing upwards. So for me to do that, I'll just select this thing and drop it down. Select the gizmo, select the rotation 2, and then turn it. But now as I'm turning it, you can see it's just turning. I need it to be able to snap to angles. So I'm going to hit A on my keyboard, or I'm just going to come over here and click on this. So when I do that, you can see it snaps. I think it's okay, roughly. I'm going to leave it like that. Then I want to just quickly make an adjustment to that floor finishes. So I'm just going to use this and pick the material. Now I'll just double click it. Okay, double click it. You see the bump? I'm going to increase it to 3. I want it to be very bumpy. Then bring it back. Let's see what we have. I'm going to just make this thing big again, and then do interactive render. Oh no, I think I might have made a mistake. So the way this is positioned is not the way I want it to position. I want it to be positioned the other way. So I'm just going to select this and I'm going to rotate it the other way. Okay, I just rotate it 90 degrees from what it is now. Yeah. So let me see. Interactive rendering. Yes, I want it to be pointing upwards like that. Now, we are almost done. So I want to just bring in the models, the bed, the light and everything. And then this is where I'm getting this model from. Let me just go ahead and show you. You can see the wood panel that we're going to have behind the bed. This is it. The carpet on the floor. This is it. Okay, I'm going to put the link to all this in the description. So you just download them, buy them, and then you can use them, or you can use anyone you want. This is the bed we're going to be using. The side table too. Okay, you can see the light, the drop lights. You can see the art wall that is by the bed head. Okay, this is the curtain I used. Okay, I've already shown you this is the HDRI. So I've already downloaded. I don't need to download them again. So I'm just going to import them. Okay, and how do you import stuff? Let me just use one as an example for you. So I'm going to stop it. After that, you just have to import others on your own. So I'm just going to open this. I downloaded this from 3D Sky. So just going to, bring in. So when I drag it in, you're going to see open file, merge file. When you want to bring in a file into a scene, what you want to do is to merge the file. So when you merge the file, it's going to come in just like this. So you can place it wherever you want. Okay, when you place it, you can rotate it like so. Okay, I already showed you how to turn on the, the angle snap toggle. Okay, when you toggle it on, it snaps, to an angle. If you want, you can even right click and change the angle to which it snaps. It's currently set at 5. I can set it to 20. And when I do that, it's not at 20 degrees, as you can see now. Okay, but I like 5 because it gives me, room to make as little adjustment as I want. But it can be anything, is what I'm trying to say. So you can move it around using the move tool. You can even scale it using this. So you scale it if you need to. So when you're scaling here, it's scaling everything. If you're scaling here, it's scaling it on X and Y axis. Okay, I think this should be a video for another day. Just, when you bring it in, just move it into place. Okay, like that. You bring in the bed, you move it into place. As you can see, I've moved this one into place. So just like that, you move it into place. You can select what you don't want in this and delete them. Okay, you can come over here. If it is not a group, as you can see, just editable poly, select what you don't want, delete them. Okay, as you can see. All right, so you can leave the only one. If this is the only one you want, you can just down take this one and put it into the place, as you can see where I've placed them. All right, just like that. And then you put the bed and then you put everything. So see you when I'm done setting these things where I want them to be. All right. Okay, as you can see, I've already finished, bringing them in. So let me just go ahead and do interactive render so we'll see what we've got. All right. So I brought in the panel and I shortened it. I selected the vertices and I made it smaller. These lights, I made the rope longer. Okay, and all that. Okay, I can just quickly show you how I did all that. So I'm just going to remove these two and then make it small and I'll keep it by the side so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so when I select this thing, let me make it open. Come over here, you're going to see editable poly. So you can just select this thing here and then move it up and down. It is going to take you up. Just come over here, select a double, select this first one, which is a vertex. With this, you can move it to anywhere you want. All right. The same thing applies to this. When I select this wooden panel, I use this one, by the way. I use this second one. Okay, that's one I used. So I select it like that. You're going to see the vertex. Okay, go over to the vertex, select the vertex. With that, you can move it up or down, whatever you want to do. Okay, I do not want it to be like this. I want it to be like that so I can bring in the art. So when I brought in this art, this decorative set, I just got rid of everything and used only the art. I like this artwork, so I used it. Okay, you can see this backlight here. I used a line to do it. Okay, so how did I do that? Okay, these are not just imported models. I did this one by myself, so that's why I'm trying to explain it. So I drew a line like so, okay, and then hit escape to come out of drawing the line. And I went over to the rendering and I set it to enable render in viewport. And as you can see, set it to rectangle. And that is what you got. Something like that. You can increase the height if you want to. You can make it fat and then position it behind that bed. And then I use this light material over here to do that. You can see the color of the light. Okay, you can go ahead and copy the display color or the scene color anywhere you want. Okay, you can see the color code over here. You can copy it to get a result exactly. Or you can do your own stuff. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Okay, what matters is you have something warm over here. All right. So when I finish that, this is what we've got. All right. You can see the curtain over there. You can see the carpet too over here. And then whenever I bring in the material, always use the relink bitmap. There's a video I've done on this channel where I showed you how you can use relink bitmap to relink your maps. Okay. I've done 2 videos on relinking bitmaps, so you can check that. I'm going to put the card up now so you can see them and watch them if you don't know how to do this. So I'm just going to select downloads and I'm going to relink them. Okay. All right. All right, so let's quickly do some final setups before we go. I'm going to set this, bloom and glare so that we're going to have some bloom in the scene, which will be nice. Then I'm going to go ahead and set my sharpening. I'm going to add 0.3 here. That's that. And let me go and do some render setup before we go. So I'm going to set this. I'm going to set this to 3000. Oh, sorry, 3000, not 300. Then for the scene, I'm going to change the denoiser and I'm going to put it in Corona High Quality. Always put your denoiser in Corona High Quality. Okay. That is the, render quality that is suitable for production render. You can find out that you can see that this part of this view is actually dark, which is not bad. You can leave it like this, but I want to have some, details of this area. I want it to show a little bit. So what I'm going to do is, let me remove this. I'm just going to add a few lights in that area, and I'm going to do that using the Corona plane light. So I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to select Corona light. Okay, I'm going to put it in the direct input, the color, direct input, and I'm going to come over here and draw a rectangle light and then raise it up. Okay, raise it up just like that, and then tilt it a little bit. Now it's very bright, as you can see. That is, it is calling attention to itself. So I'm going to just change it to 1. Okay, 1, as you can see, is is not that, effective. So I'm going to make it 2. Now, as you can see, we are beginning to see what's going on there. Just a little bit. Okay. We still have shadows there, but then we are, seeing some of the things going on there. So I'm just going to duplicate this light and bring it down a little bit and then change the color to warm color. All right, just like this. Put it in copy because I'm going to change the intensity to like 0.5 and then make it warm. Yeah, something like this. Something like this. Now, I want to add an LUT. Okay, I'm going to make it 0.3. That's the default, the first LUT you're going to see. That's what I'm using. Okay. Yes. So I'm just going to, because I've done our render settings, I'm just going to stop this so I can start the production render. See you when the render is done so we can save out. All right, so the render is done. I'm about to save up. But before I do that, there's something I forgot to tell you. Okay, as you can see, this light that is shining here is not just coming from here. Okay, it's not just coming from there. I added an additional light in here. Okay, as you can see, when I come over here, you're going to see the light that I added. You can see the settings of that. I made the intensity to be 50. Okay, and then the color is 3.6. So when you look at the final render I have and you are seeing all this light, and maybe your own is probably not looking like that, it's just because the light here, I added additional light to make it more realistic, to light up the space. Okay, so yeah, let me go ahead and save. To save, we click on this icon here if you're using Corona 12. If not, you're going to see save somewhere around here. You click on it and then select the folder where you want to save it. Okay, just name it whatever I want. I'm going to name this one bedroom. Let me just call it bedroom 4. I don't know how many bedroom I've done on this channel, but bedroom 4. So I'll set it to PNG. You can set to JPEG, whatever you want, but I want to save this to PNG. And then for the gamma, I'm going to override it, okay, to 2.2. And then I'm going to hit save. Uncheck the alpha channel. Make sure it's on interlace. If the alpha channel is left on, it might delete your sky for you. So uncheck the alpha channel. Make sure it's in the 48 bits. I think it will be there by default. And then leave interlaced on. Or you can check it off, but I like to leave it on. So I'll say OK. So after a while, it's going to save. All right, it has saved. All right, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like, and if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. Not only subscribing, ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future tutorials when I do post them, okay? Thank you very much for watching this video. I'm going to see you in the next one.